Before that, it was used by the MIT lab for their own purpose, and the name of the language was Oak. Then formally, it has been taken by the Sun Microsystem in 1995, and they named it Java. And now, which company has taken over? किस कंपनी के पास है इस वक्त जावा? क्यों भाई?
Ma'am, Oracle.
Yes, so Oracle has taken over to the Sun Microsystem, and now the Java is product of Oracle.com. So these are the characteristics of the Java. We'll take it one by one. Fine. So it is a simple language. Okay. So Java is a simple language as it follows the syntaxes of the C language. So it is quite simpler. It is more simpler in comparison to the C language because the complexity of pointers and libraries are being removed from the Java. So it is a very simple language to write the codes. And then it is the object-oriented language. So you can design the program on the by using the classes and objects, and it is a pure object-oriented language. Like instead of only object-oriented, we used to call it pure object-oriented language because there is no possibility to find the data without permission from the object. Fine. So in the C++ language, if someone has read C++ language, so we had a concept of the pointers, and through pointers you can access the memory whether you have the permission of that memory area or not. But in case of Java, the concept of pointers has been removed permanently. So the memory cannot be accessed directly without the permission of the user. So it is a pure object-oriented language. Everything you have to perform in the class only. Without class, you cannot do the coding. It is a distributed programming language. I have already told you in the last session that there is a huge library of networking functions. So it is a language which provides you facility to make the programs in a distributed way, which means the program can run anywhere, anytime, or data can be accessed anywhere, anytime. So if you wish to do some coding in the cloud computing, then preferably we use Java language to do that. Fine. It is interpreted as well as compiled language. So it is the only language which has an interpreter as well as compiler as well. It is a robust language. Now, robust in what way? It can handle the runtime error also. Like as a developer, you can design the codes which can handle the probable error. I mean, the error can come or the error cannot come. If the client makes some mistake while entering the data, error can come. So these kind of errors you can handle at the designing or at the design time, and these errors are called as runtime errors. So the error handling in the Java is very vast and very detailed. So that is why it is a fault tolerant language. अगर आप इसमें बहुत अच्छे से कोडिंग करते हैं, so you can make your program fault tolerant. किसी भी तरीके की प्रॉब्लम में आपको एरर मिलेगा ही नहीं. Your program can handle the error if you do the coding in such a way. Fine. So in that way, it provides you to make a program robust. Then it is a secure language. I've already told you that everything you have to perform inside the class. So whatever you will do, you have to create the object of that class, and the object is basically the abstract entity. The process cannot be visible to everyone. You will provide the input, you will get the output, but the process part of the object will be hidden to everyone. So in that way, your language is quite secure. The programming part is quite secure from the client. Then it is architectural neutral. So what is the meaning of architectural neutral? Actually, platform independent. So it is a language which is platform independent. और यू कैन कॉल इट राइट वंस रन एनीवेयर, इसको डिटेल में अभी डिस्कस करेंगे. Then obviously it is a portable language as well. It is a platform independent, that is why it is portable. I mean, once you have written the program, you can take the executable code anywhere to any platform. Fine. So it is a portable, it is a transferable code language. So that is why the third property comes कि the performance will be very good in comparison to the other languages. क्योंकि आप अपने कोड को कहीं पे भी ले जा करके एग्जीक्यूटेबल फॉर्म में रन कर सकते हो, किसी भी प्लेटफॉर्म पे रन कर सकते हो. सो जो आपको परफॉर्मेंस मिलेगी वो बहुत अच्छी मिलेगी कोड्स की. एंड देन इट इज अ मल्टी थ्रेडेड लैंग्वेज. ये भी मैंने एट द टाइम ऑफ लैब आई हैव डिस्कस्ड दिस फीचर ऑल्सो. लाइक इन अ सिंगल प्रोग्राम you can create some small programs, and these small programs can have different functionality. This can have different functionality and all can run concurrently. ये सारे प्रोग्राम concurrently run कर सकते हैं. Now thing is that if this program is closed, then these three programs will not have any effect. But if this program is closed, the main program is closed, then all sub-program will be closed automatically. Fine. It is a dynamic language. So dynamic का मतलब ये हुआ कि because it is a open source language, so whenever you will get any update in the software, it is automatically, if you are connected your software with the internet, it will automatically take all the updates, and it is updated very frequently. Like it started with the 1.0 version and right now the 16 version is going on. So almost हर 6 month के बाद आपको एक नया version मिलेगा JDK का with new features, Java का with new features. So these are the some versions of the Java, right? Now I'm moving to the another slide and we'll discuss everything in the detail with respect to the Java. So I'm changing the slide. Let me know whether you can see the slides or not. Can you see the slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So basically, we have already discussed the characteristics of the Java. So I'll start from the compilation and execution of the Java program. So you make the Java source code in the form of the Java file. So basically, whenever you create a file, you give the extension .java to the file. Then you compile the code with the help of a command javac, like I have created test.java. So what command I am going to use? Javac test.java. So this command is used to compile your file, and after compilation it gives you the bytecode, and the extension of the bytecode is .class. And basically this .class file, this bytecode is platform independent file, which means this file is understood by every platform. आप इसे कहीं पे भी ले जाएंगे, every platform will understand this file. ठीक है? Then this bytecode, it is a platform independent. This bytecode goes to the JVM. Fine. You use a interpreter Java and you use the first name of the bytecode. Class file का first name देते हो इस interpreter को. तो Java is the interpreter or Java is a command which calls a virtual machine that is called as Java virtual machine. Now I'm calling it virtual machine, which means it doesn't have any physical appearance. ये physically कहीं पे भी नहीं है. ये physically कहीं पे भी नहीं है. But yes, when you call this command, it appears and it interprets your program as per the requirement of the platform. जैसे मैंने यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है JVM for Windows, JVM for Linux, JVM for Mac. So JVM will convert the code, that is bytecode, into the machine code as per the requirement of the platform. So that is why as per the platform, you require different JVMs. The single JVM will work only for the single platform. For another platform, you require to have another type of JVM. So every platform has its own JVM, and JVM doesn't exist physically. So who is going to tell me JVM, if somebody asks you, JVM is a platform dependent thing or platform independent software?
Independent.
Platform dependent.
Platform dependent. Why it is platform dependent? Because as per the platform, the JVM software will be changed, the JVM appearance will be changed, and the machine code will be different. Fine. While if I compare this structure with C language, then your C program .c file will be compiled, will be converted into .obj file. हम practical में already discuss कर चुके हैं. Then while execution, जब आप इसको execute करोगे, it will be converted into .exe file, and this .exe file and this .obj file both are platform dependent. Which means if you have written a code on Windows plus Intel for C language, then you cannot carry .obj file, you cannot carry .exe file to some other platform, say Windows plus IBM. You cannot carry this because these two files are platform dependent. But in case of Java, your bytecode is platform independent. Now, if I carry the bytecode which is created on Windows Intel to Windows IBM, the Windows IBM platform will automatically deduct this bytecode. It will activate your JVM, its own JVM, and will convert the machine code. The JVM will convert the machine code. Fine. So, कोई भी platform आपका हो that can understand the bytecode, and as per its own requirement, it will have a JVM, and JVM will convert the bytecode into the machine code, and it will show the output. Now, there is one more reason. जब आपने practical में Java फाइल बना करके देखी थी, तो आपने देखा .class फाइल तो बनती है, but executable कोड नहीं बनता है. जैसे C लैंग्वेज में ऑब्जेक्ट फाइल बनती है, ऑब्जेक्ट फाइल को when you execute it, executable फाइल भी बनती है, right? But in case of Java, because JVM is not physically present, so that is why it converts the machine code virtually. Physical appearance आपको machine code का नहीं मिलेगा, right? So you will be having only two files. One is your source code, another will be your compiled code, that is .class file. So if someone asks you in the placement why we do not have a machine code file in the Java, so the reason behind that, because the JVM doesn't exist physically on your machine, so it works virtually. So machine code also created by it virtually. Fine. So that is why machine code doesn't exist on the machine. Okay. So now we'll discuss about the three terms, JVM, JRE and JDK, and what is the relation between these three. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. And JDK is also called as JSDK also, Java Software Development Kit, or if you remove the S, then Java Development Kit. More or less both are same nomenclatures. Fine. So come to the JVM. JVM is basically a virtual machine which is responsible to run your or to convert your bytecode into the machine code. Fine. Now, to run or to convert a bytecode into the machine code, you require some library sets also. So JRE is a Java runtime environment which consists with JVM and the library set which are required at the time of the conversion. So JVM and library set ko agar aap mila dein, then it is called as JRE. Fine. Now JRE plus development tools ko agar aap mix kar dein, then this is called as Java Development Kit. Now ये तो रन टाइम एनवायरनमेंट दे रहा है, बट हाउ विल यू क्रिएट दी एप्लीकेशन सॉफ्टवेयर? आप किस तरीके से किसी प्रोग्राम को लिखोगे, कैसे आप एक एप्लीकेशन सॉफ्टवेयर को बनाओगे, उसके लिए यू रिक्वायर वेरियस थिंग्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, यू रिक्वायर कंपाइलर, you require debugger, you require different kind of APIs. All these things will be available in the development tools, and this whole thing, that is JRE plus development tool, will be called as Java development tool or Java software development kit. Fine. So let's define the works. JVM will load the code, verifies the code, execute the code. It provides the runtime environment for execution, but it doesn't exist physically, and it is platform dependent. Now talk about the JRE. It is a combination of JVM plus library. It is called the implementation of the JVM. It supports library for the JVM, and it cannot execute the code. Like without JRE, you cannot execute the code because only JVM cannot execute the code. So you require development libraries also. You require libraries also. So JRE is important and it exists physically. So remember that आपका जो JRE है ये physically exist होता है. अब जिन्होंने install करा है उन्होंने दो फोल्डर देखे होंगे, एक JDK एक JRE. So JRE exists physically on your machine and it is also platform dependent. Why it is platform dependent? Because it carries JVM inside that. So JVM platform dependent होता है, इसलिए JRE भी platform dependent है. Now come to the JDK. JDK is a combination of JRE and development tools, and it is a actually full-featured software kit. ठीक है? So it has everything. It has a documentation, it has a debugging tool, it has a compiler. Everything is there in the JDK. Fine. So this is the diagram and this is the relation between JVM, JRE and JDK. Is there any question from anyone till now? Is anyone is having any question? Okay. So I'm moving towards next slide. So it is a sample program and these are the execution steps you have already done in the lab. So it is a hello world program and I have already told you public static main and string array is a fixed keyword that you are going to use with the main method. Void can be changed. Void is actually a return type and name of array can be changed. डिटेल में इनको धीरे धीरे एक एक करके पढ़ेंगे. आज मैं ये वाला पार्ट कवर करूंगी कि why are we using string array. Fine. Okay. So public and static, this we are going to cover in the next lecture or maybe later on. Fine. So for the execution you have two steps. First you will compile your program by using a Javac, that is Javac. It will give you byte files if there is no problem in your code. So the class file will be created and after that you will activate your JVM by using a Java command. It is an interpreter and you will give the first name of your class file. Fine. It will run the main program and it will execute your main program. Fine. Now first thing, anyone wish to ask something? Otherwise mute your mic. Fine. So let's finish this thing. Why we have used public over here? Detail में बाद में देखेंगे. अभी मैं सिर्फ आपको short में brief में बता रही हूँ. Public का मतलब क्या होता है? Which can be seen or which can be used by anyone. So why your main method is public? Why I have made it public or why it is compulsory to make it public? Because whenever you compile your program, the compilation starts with the main program. Fine. Or you can say that whenever you execute your program, your execution starts from the main function. Now, the main function has the remaining code, like object you create inside the main function. So which means the execution is starting from the main function. Now, if your JVM is not able to access the main function, it won't go inside the main function. आपने suppose करिए ये main function लिखा है और इस main function के अंदर code लिखा है आपने और इस code में आपने object वगैरह बनाए हुए हैं, variables बनाए हुए हैं and remaining things आपने इस main function के अंदर करी हुई है and ये जो main function है ये class के अंदर है. Fine. अब जब आप प्रोग्राम को कंपाइल करते हो और एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए JVM कॉल करते हो, your JVM accesses main function first, right? Now, if this main function is private, then the JVM cannot access this main function. So, because JVM is accessing this function without the creation of the class, that is why this function is required to be public. If it is not public, then JVM will not be able to run this function. So that is why you have to write public over here. Fine. Now what is the meaning of static? Static का मतलब होता है, आपने स्टोरेज क्लासेस पढ़ी होंगी सी लैंग्वेज में, स्पेशली जब आपने डेटा स्ट्रक्चर पढ़ा होगा, so you have read the storage classes. स्टोरेज क्लासेस में आपने पढ़ा होगा लोकल यू कैन डिक्लेयर वेरिएबल, ग्लोबल आप वेरिएबल को बना सकते हो, स्टैटिक बना सकते हो आप वेरिएबल को, एंड रजिस्टर टाइप बना सकते हो. सो स्टैटिक का मतलब क्या होता है? There are two properties will be attached with the static. First, if there is any function which is a static in the class, then only one copy of that function will be created. Again, I'm repeating. इसको हम डिटेल में बाद में पढ़ेंगे. Just to understand, you need to know only two properties of the static function. The main is a static function which is inside the class. So it has two properties. Property number one, because it is a static function, so it will have only one copy. Fine. Second, because it is a static function, so it can be accessed without object. It can be accessed without object. Fine. So जैसे मैंने आपसे कहा था कि आप एक मैप बनाते हो घर को बनाने के लिए. Now, according to this map, you can create multiple houses which are having a same construction type, right? And every house will have different properties. जैसे आप इसका कलर चेंज कर सकते हैं, घर का कलर चेंज कर सकते हैं, डोर का कलर चेंज कर सकते हैं, अलमीरा का कलर चेंज कर सकते हैं. तो which means सब में विंडो होगी, सब में डोर होंगे, सब में वॉल्स होंगी, बट उनके कलर्स डिफरेंट होंगे. लेकिन अगर मैं मैप के अंदर कलर को स्टैटिक बना दूं और उसकी वैल्यू रख दूं रेड, या उसकी कोई भी वैल्यू ना रखूं और इस हाउस को बनाते वक्त उसकी वैल्यू रख दूं रेड, सो एवरी हाउस विल हैव ओनली रेड कलर. हैव यू अंडरस्टूड दिस और नॉट? सिंगल कॉपी का मतलब क्या है? All the objects will have same value. सिंगल कॉपी, सबके पास सेम वैल्यू एक्सेस होगी, मल्टीपल वैल्यूज एक्सेस नहीं होंगी. विच मीन्स अगर आपके पास एक पर्टिकुलर फंक्शन है तो वो फंक्शन सिर्फ एक ही बार बनेगा और वो फंक्शन एज इट इज सारे ऑब्जेक्ट्स में जाएगा. यू कांट चेंज दैट थिंग, और अगर आप कहीं चेंज करोगे तो वो चेंजेस आपको सब जगह दिखेंगे. फाइन. सो स्टैटिक अगर आप फंक्शन को बनाते हो तो दो प्रॉपर्टीज आपके पास यहां पर आ रही हैं. अब आपको ये पता है कि JVM इज एक्सेसिंग मेन फंक्शन एज ए फर्स्ट फंक्शन. फाइन. So that is why I have created a one copy of the function so that main की कहीं copies ना बने. Second, it can be accessed without object. So main is the only function which can be accessed without object. Otherwise, the remaining code can be accessed only by the object. आप पूरे के पूरे कोड को ऑब्जेक्ट के थ्रू ही एक्सेस कर सकते हो, लेकिन मेन फंक्शन को you have to access without object. So that is why you have to make it static. राइट. तो आपको मेन की एक कॉपी बनानी है, आपने इसलिए उसको स्टैटिक बनाया, और आपको मेन फंक्शन को बिना ऑब्जेक्ट के एक्सेस करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि क्लास नहीं बनी है अभी तक. ऑब्जेक्ट तभी बनेगा व्हेन योर क्लास इज क्रिएटेड. सो इफ द क्लास इज नॉट क्रिएटेड यू कैन नॉट क्रिएट द ऑब्जेक्ट, बट मेन फंक्शन दोनों के पहले यूज हो रहा है. दैट इज व्हाई यू हैव टू मेक इट स्टैटिक. फाइन. रिटर्न टाइप आप अपने हिसाब से चेंज कर सकते हो. नाउ कम टू दिस पार्ट. ब्रैकेट के अंदर आपने स्ट्रिंग एरे क्यों पास करी है? एरे का नाम आप कुछ भी रख सकते हैं, बट इट हैज टू बी स्ट्रिंग एरे. नाउ व्हाई इट इज अ स्ट्रिंग एरे? बिकॉज इन केस ऑफ जावा, योर जावा प्रोग्राम थिंक्स दैट you will pass the output on the command line. Now what is command line? Give me a moment. Okay, what is command line? actually when you compile your program on the command prompt, that command prompt is called as command line. Fine. So command line पर आप जो कुछ भी टाइप करते हो, that is called as command line arguments. तो जावा में आपका जो इनपुट का मेथड होता है, that is by default command line arguments. अगर आप कोई लाइब्रेरी यूज नहीं करना चाहते हो, तो डिफॉल्ट इनपुट का मेथड है कमांड लाइन आर्ग्यूमेंट्स जावा में. फाइन. सो लेट्स सी दिस मेथड इन दी डिटेल. ओके, सी ड्राइव पर आप कमांड लिखते हो जावा एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए, एंड यू गिव दी फर्स्ट नेम ऑफ द क्लास फाइल. सो ये है कमांड लाइन. दिस लाइन जहां प्रॉम्प्ट आ रहा है, दिस लाइन इज कॉल्ड एज कमांड line. This line is called as command line, and when you type something on this line, these words are called as command line arguments. Fine. So what happens after this command, after giving the interpretation command, if I write 2, so this 2 will behave as an input, and this input will go to the string array. Now, what is your string array? ARGS. And you know that your array starts with the 0 index. So this 2 will go where ARGS 0. So if I print ARGS 0, I'll get 2. Now, if I'm passing 3 also, so where 3 will go? It will go on the 1 index. So by default, input method in Java is pass the value on the command line, and your main function will grab those values in this array. So that is why it is compulsory to pass this array inside the main function, because the default input method in Java is command line arguments. यहाँ तक किसको समझ नहीं आया?
हमें डाउट है.
बोलो.
Why you declared the class as public?
I mean, it is not necessary. We'll discuss it later on. That is not compulsory. That is why it is written in the black. अभी आप केवल red part पे focus करो. We'll come later on there also कि public के सिवा और क्या क्या कर सकते हैं वहां पे. अभी बताओ command line argument जो मैंने बताया वो समझ आया या नहीं आया? Section A and B. So let's have one example of this. आपको और ज्यादा क्लियर हो जाएगा. एक एग्जाम्पल देखते हैं हम इसका. तो गिव मी अ मोमेंट, आई एम ओपनिंग द नोटपैड टिल नाउ. Fine. So we'll take one example of creating the sum of two numbers that we have already done in the lab. And what we'll do, we will use the input method command line argument to pass the input. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now, what am I going to use? I will execute one program in front of you by using the command line argument, so that you should come to know what is command line argument. Actually, it is a default method in the Java. So I have created a class test. It is public static void main, and I'm passing the string array over here, and the name of array is A1. As I've already told you, I can write any name there. A and B, C is equal to A plus B, and see that there is no value of A and B. A और B की कोई value नहीं है. And system dot out dot println, and I wish to display message sum, and the sum is stored in C variable. It will display the value of the C variable, right? Now from where I will take the value of A and B? So I will take the value of A and B from this array. Fine. So what will I do? When I will interpret the program, जब आप कंपाइलेशन के बाद प्रोग्राम को रन करोगे विद द हेल्प ऑफ जावा कमांड, आई राइट दिस कमांड एंड पास टू वैल्यू विद दिस कमांड. So as per the discussion, 2 will go to A1 0 and 3 will go to A1 1. अब मुझे करना क्या है? The value which is stored in the A1 0 should be stored in A, and value which is stored in the A1 1 should be stored in B. Fine. करना क्या है मुझे? A is equal to आपको क्या करना है? A1 0 में जो वैल्यू है वो डालनी है, एंड B इज इक्वल टू A1 के 1 में जो वैल्यू है वो डालनी है. हैव यू अंडरस्टूड और नॉट? तो यहाँ पर क्या आ जाना चाहिए?
Yes.
यहाँ पे 2 आ जाना चाहिए और यहाँ पे 3 आ जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि एज पर द कमांड फर्स्ट वैल्यू इज 2 एंड सेकेंड वैल्यू इज 3. बट देयर इज सम प्रॉब्लम इन दिस. बताओ क्या प्रॉब्लम है यहाँ पे? ये प्रोग्राम चलेगा नहीं. दिस प्रोग्राम विल गिव यू एरर. Can anybody? हाँ.
Ma'am, A1 is not declared.
And
A1 is already declared, बच्चे. हाँ.
Oh, okay.
Ma'am,
A1 is तो declare. हाँ.
Int
A1 तो declare है, but problem A1 के साथ क्या है? It is a string type. String का मतलब text value ली इसने. But you are storing this text value into the integer. तो यहाँ पर आपको error मिलेगा. तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? You have to convert this string value into the integer. So we will use a function integer.parseInt. ये function आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा, and it is a very useful function. Now what is the purpose of this function? It is used to convert string value into integer. And in the similar way, you have to use function over here also. So it will convert the string value into integer. Have you understood or not? कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ है स्पेलिंग में. integer.parseInt. Right? So what I have done, when I will interpret this program, अभी तो हमने ना compile किया है ना interpret किया है. Compile करने के बाद, when I will interpret this program, I'll call the JVM. Then I will pass two values. The first value will go to A1 0, but problem with A1 0 is it is of string type. So I am converting this string value into integer, and then I'm storing into A, and in a similar way, I'm converting the second value also in the integer, and then I'm storing it into B. And then I have done A plus B, and C is containing a sum which is displayed over here. So let's save this program and we'll try to execute this program. So the default input method in Java is, always remember, it is a command line argument method. Java always thinks that you will give the input from the command line. The method that has been told to you, I suppose the scanner method in the school, at the school level, it is a secondary method. By using the library, you do that. So let me compile this code for you and we'll execute them. This is the command line argument. I hope you all can see.
Yes, ma'am.
See,
Yes, ma'am.
and test
Yes, ma'am, we can
dot
see.
Java. So I cannot find the, okay, I have not declared C over here as an integer. C के आगे मैंने integer नहीं लिखा था. That is why it is giving the error. So I'll compile it again. मैंने add on कर दिया है. Okay. Now I will call the JVM by using Java command, and then I will pass two values. 3 will go to A1 0, 4 will go to A1 1. See the sum. दिख रहा है सबको sum?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I can change these values while the second time. अब मैं क्या कर रही हूँ यहाँ पर 10 and 2 pass कर रही हूँ. I should get 12. Again I will call the JVM. I have passed 20 and then I have passed 20. I'll get 40. So is it clear? Default method clear हो गया? Input का command line argument या कोई
Yes,
confusion
ma'am.
है? So
Yes, ma'am.
again, I'm sharing the program with you. If you have any confusion, you can ask me. देखो प्रोग्राम में कोई कंफ्यूजन है किसी लाइन में?
क्लास के अंदर लिखना जरूरी है।
Do you have any confusion?
मैम,
Yes.
क्लास के अंदर लिखना जरूरी है।
क्लास के अंदर लिखना जरूरी है मतलब?
मेन क्लास के अंदर ही होता है हमेशा।
Yes, it will be inside the class only. आप क्लास के बाहर कोई कोडिंग नहीं कर सकते. The whole program should be inside the class.
क्लास का यूज क्या है?
क्लास का यूज ये है कि अगर आप क्लास में कुछ भी रखते हैं, then you can create the object of this class. अभी फिलहाल हमने ऑब्जेक्ट बनाना देखा नहीं है, बट आगे प्रोग्राम्स में विल क्रिएट दी ऑब्जेक्ट. ऑब्जेक्ट का फायदा ये होता है कि एवरीथिंग विल बी हिडन इनसाइड दी ऑब्जेक्ट. तो जब आप क्लाइंट को डिलीवर करोगे, आप ऑब्जेक्ट डिलीवर करोगे, तो क्लाइंट इनपुट देगा, आउटपुट मिलेगा, बट किस तरीके से वो आउटपुट जनरेट हो रहा है वो रिवील नहीं होगा क्लाइंट को. So client object is basically the abstract entity which hides everything inside that. तो जब तक आप क्लास नहीं बनाओगे, you can't create object.
Excuse me, ma'am.
हाँ.
Ma'am, are we doing typecasting when using integer.parseInt?
It is not typecasting, it is a conversion function. Typecasting is a different thing that I'll tell you later. Typecasting is a different concept. Right now, I'm using a conversion function.
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है. Typecasting जब आप करते हो, then you convert the similar data type to the another data type. For example, जैसे अगर आप float को integer के form में save करना चाहते हो, then you have to typecast. इंटीजर को फ्लोट के फॉर्म में सेव करना चाहते हो, देन यू हैव टू टाइपकास्ट. यहां पर आप क्या कर रहे हो, एक बिल्कुल डिफरेंट डेटा टाइप को यू आर कन्वर्टिंग इनटू ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट डेटा. सो दैट इज व्हाई यू हैव टू यूज सम फंक्शंस फॉर दैट. इट इज नॉट टाइपकास्टिंग. समझ में आया कुछ थोड़ा बहुत या नहीं?
Yes, ma'am. आ गया.
We apply the typecasting concept when the values are properties are similar. न्यूमेरिक को न्यूमेरिक में कन्वर्ट करोगे तो तुम टाइपकास्ट करोगे. बट अगर तुम इस टेक्स्ट को न्यूमेरिक में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हो, न्यूमेरिक को टेक्स्ट में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हो, देन यू हैव टू यूज सम फंक्शंस इन जावा. तो ये फंक्शन है, प्रॉपर फंक्शन है ये.
Okay, ma'am.
आई विल गो बैक टू द PPTs again. So I hope the main function keywords are clear to everyone now. Now can you tell me if someone knew ki why are we passing this array? Is it compulsory to pass this array? So can you answer this question or not? Can you answer this question? Why are we passing this string array?
Ma'am, so that we can get default arguments that we want to enter in the program.
Because the Java assumes that you will pass the argument on the command line only. So it is compulsory to give this string array as a argument to the main. ठीक है, क्योंकि जावा ये अज्यूम करके चलता है कि आप जो भी इनपुट दोगे कमांड लाइन पर दोगे. वो तो आप डिफरेंट लाइब्रेरीज यूज करके इनपुट फंक्शंस यूज कर लेते हो, बट जावा ये अज्यूम करके चलता है कि तुम कमांड लाइन पर ही इनपुट दोगे. सो दैट इज व्हाई इट कम्स इनसाइड द सिंटैक्स कि मेन फंक्शन कमांड लाइन से वैल्यूज को फेच करेगा. नेक्स्ट मूव टू द डेटा टाइप्स इन जावा. सो बेसिकली देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ डेटा इन दी जावा. Now what is the meaning of data type? एक स्टेटमेंट लिखते हैं, although आपको पता है, but still I would prefer, क्योंकि मैं अपने हिसाब से पढ़ा रही हूँ, तो I'll take it everything from the start. Suppose I have written a is equal to 2. So integer is a data type, a is a variable and 2 is a value. Now what is the meaning of variable, difference between variable and constant? Can anybody tell me?
Ma'am, constants are predefined functions and variables are not.
Variables can be changed and constants
Yeah,
cannot.
Yes, the
constants.
value of variable can be changed, but the value of constant cannot be changed. Once you have assigned the value to the constant throughout the program, you cannot change that value. But in a variable, in the case of variable, you can change the value as per your requirement throughout your program. So this is the difference between variable and constant. Second thing, what is A over here? A is called as name of the variable, or you can call it identifier. What is identifier? The name that you have assigned to the variable is called as identifier. Now, what is the rule to give the identifier? It should always start with either letter or underscore. You cannot start it with the digit. आप variable का नाम ये नहीं रख सकते हो. Identifier आप ये नहीं रख सकते हो. It should always start with letter or underscore. You can write variable name like this. You can write variable name like this. Like underscore 1 can be the name of variable, but you cannot write 1a as a name of variable. So जो C language में rule थे, same rules Java में भी हैं. Fine. So I'm talking about this data type. Right? What is the meaning of data type? The data type will decide what kind of value this variable will contain. Like here I have written integer. What is the meaning of integer? That it will take the whole numbers. Fine. So the variable type, the value that variable is containing is defined by the data type. So there are two types of data types are there in Java, primitive and non-primitive. Primitive data type is Boolean, character, byte, short, int, long, float, double. Non-primitive data type are called as reference type or object type. आप इनको reference type और object type भी कह सकते हैं. And these are generally user defined data types. या तो user इनको define कर सकता है in the form of a class, और ये predefined भी हैं. Java में कुछ libraries मिलेंगी आपको जिनमें predefined class बनी हुई है, like a string, array, employee and student is a class created by the user. So these type of data types comes under the category of non-primitive, जिनको हम बाद में discuss करेंगे. अभी हम केवल primitive data types को discuss करेंगे. So every primitive data type has some limit of the size, कि जब आप इसको declare करोगे तो memory में कितना size लेगा. So for your revision, 1 byte is equal to 8 bit. यहाँ से इसको consider करिएगा. Fine. So Boolean size is 1 bit, byte is 8 bit, character is 16 bit. C language में कितना लेता है character? How much space does character takes in C language? 8. But यहाँ पर 16 ले रहा है, so we'll discuss it कि 16 क्यों ले रहा है. Then short will take 16 bit, integer will take 16 bit, long will take 64 bit, float will take 32 bit, and double will take 64 bit. Fine. These are the default values. Suppose I will declare, I have declared Boolean A, and if I will print A without assigning any value, I'll get false. Default value का मतलब समझ गए? What is the meaning of default value? Your variable contains some default value without initializing it. So these are the default values your data types will have. Fine. And these are the examples of the values that you can store inside the data types. Okay. Now one thing, character को discuss करने से पहले, let's discuss long, float and double. If you have declared integer data type in your program, then there is no problem. But with integer, if you have made any variable as long also, आपने एक integer variable declare करा है, एक long declare करा है. So in case of Java, you have to assign value of the B, and when you are assigning the value into the B, you have to write L over there, otherwise your Java will not be able to differentiate between integer and long. By default, your Java takes bigger data type. तो ऑटोमेटिकली ये इंटीजर को क्या कंसीडर करने लगेगा, लॉन्ग। लेकिन अगर आप चाहते हैं कि जो a है इट टेक्स 32 बिट, यानी उससे बड़ी वैल्यू ना ले, और जो लॉन्ग है वो 64 बिट तक की वैल्यू ले, तो व्हेन यू आर असाइनिंग द वैल्यू इनटू b you have to write l after that. So which means if I will store something into b, I'll write l, capital या small, आपका जो मन करे, you can write it. Otherwise ये जो a है और ये जो b है दोनों लॉन्ग हो जाएंगे, राइट? सिमिलरली इन केस ऑफ फ्लोट एंड डबल, अगर आपके प्रोग्राम में फ्लोट भी है और डबल भी है, तो जावा टेक्स एवरीथिंग ऑन इन 64 बिट। लेकिन अगर आप चाहते हो कि जिसको मैंने फ्लोट डिक्लेयर करा है वो 32 बिट ले और जिसको डबल डिक्लेयर करा है वो 64 बिट ले, तो आफ्टर द वैल्यू यू हैव टू राइट एफ एंड डी, विच मीन्स सपोज मैंने डिक्लेयर किया फ्लोट a इक्वल्स टू 2.5, तो आई हैव टू राइट f ओवर हियर। एंड अगर मैंने लिखा है डबल से मैंने दिया यहाँ पर b 3.5, then I have to write d here. Otherwise अगर आप ये नहीं लिखोगे तो a will be considered as double. सफिक्स समझ में आए, l, f और d?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now who is going to tell me why character is taking 16 bit? फिर हम क्लास को खत्म करते हैं। Why character is taking 16 bit? कुछ लोग पढ़ चुके हैं ना आपकी क्लास में जावा। Why it is taking 16 bit? Who is going to tell me? क्यों भाई, कौन बताने वाला है कि 16 बिट क्यों ले रहा है? Anyone can explain me why it is taking 16 bit? See, in a Java language, the character is taking 16 bit, and the reason behind that, Java is a universal language and character is actually called as Unicode character. Unicode का मतलब universal data type. Character data type को आप किससे रिप्रेजेंट करते हो? यूनिकोड डेटा टाइप से रिप्रेजेंट करते हो, दैट इज यूनिवर्सल कोड, यूनिवर्सल कैरेक्टर डेटा टाइप. So what happens? It can store Hindi, it can store English, it can store Urdu, it can store Japanese, it can store Chinese, or whatever language is present in the whole universe can be stored inside the character data type. Fine. So what happens? अगर तो आप English सेव कर रहे हो, then the character will take 8 bits. लेकिन अगर आप किसी और लैंग्वेज के कैरेक्टर को सेव कर रहे हो, लाइक जापानीज, चाइनीज, कोरियन, अगर इन लैंग्वेज के कैरेक्टर को सेव कर रहे हो, देन इट टेक्स मोर देन 8 बिट, बट द रेंज इज लेस देन 16 बिट, लेस देन इक्वल टू 16 बिट. सो दैट इज व्हाई द मेमोरी साइज ऑफ द कैरेक्टर डेटा टाइप इज मैक्सिमम 16 बिट. तो पूरी यूनिवर्स में कोई भी लैंग्वेज का कैरेक्टर हो, it will maximum take 16 bit. So that is why your character data type is also called as universal code data type, Unicode data type. Have you understood the reason or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So I'm stopping my class over here only. If you have any query, you can ask. किसी को कोई query है तो आप पूछ सकते हो.